Hi, loves, and welcome back to another episode of Pamtastic on Purpose. Tonight I'm here with my husband Eric, and we are just going to try to keep it light and playful. And we're just gonna ask each other some questions and just be kind of silly back and forth with each other and see how it goes. Eric, say hi.
Hey everybody.
He just can't. He can't help it.
Hello.
Oh my goodness.
Hi.
When I always say Eric, say hi, he feels like he's on the spot. And I think it just makes him, I don't know, he just loses his real voice. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, so we are going to just get right into it. Nothing deep. Like I said, we're just trying to be light and playful tonight. Yeah, so do you want to ask the questions first or do you want me to ask the questions first? I'll ask the questions first.
It's your show, baby.
All right. So, who overthinks everything?
You.
Who forgets why they walked into a room?
Me.
Who needs silence to survive?
You.
Who turns small things into a TED Talk?
Me and you.
Both of us. Who is secretly right more often?
You're right more often, but in my head, I'm right. So secretly, I'm right more often.
Okay. Who takes forever to get ready?
You.
Who says I'm fine but isn't?
Both of us. Me more often now.
Who needs snacks to function?
Yeah, me. Me.
Who loses things while holding them?
You.
Probably. Who is dramatic but correct?
Pam. Tess.
All right. We used to fight about this, but okay, so let's finish the sentence. So we used to fight about this. We used to fight about blank. At the time, it felt like blank, but now we're like blank and why. So we used to fight about money.
Money.
All the time. It felt like
Anxiety. Nervous,
anxiety,
yeah.
pressure.
Pressure, right. Worry, fear, whatever.
Yeah, all of those things. And now we're like,
Oh, here's the deal.
we're millionaires.
Right. We got bajillion dollars.
We're good. And why? I don't get that really. Oh, why? As far how I'd be like more like how did we get to that mindset? How do we shift that?
Well, we just
and be okay with it in our bodies.
Right.
How do we get our bodies on board with believing that like it's okay if like say today we both took the day off to stay and rest and be home with each other, and we used to both really have a lot of anxiety around that, particularly me.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, it's lost money, day off of work is they're not getting paid. So, you would worry about that. But now we just know, and instead of looking at the things that were showing us that you shouldn't do that, we started recognizing all the times that we were shown that we got this, and everything is set the way it's set.
And then once we gave ourselves permission, the universe gives us permission too. Right. And starts showing you and giving you, your reality starts matching, your mindset and your beliefs, and you know, again, but your body has to be on board with it. Like, you cannot just tell yourself like, I'm gonna believe this and then expect your body to be on board with it. If it's not, you're gonna feel that resistance. Like, you have to embody the belief that you have. You have to be able to do that. Your nervous system has to be able to hold that. All right, anyway, we're not supposed to get deep. Sorry. This or that. No thinking, short answers. Talk now or talk later?
I'm always talk later, but talk now is
Mm-hmm.
you.
Comfort or solutions?
I'm always on the fence. Pam Solutions.
Quiet or background noise?
I like quiet.
I like quiet. Sometimes background noise is nice when like you already got kids as the background and you're just trying to
Mm-hmm.
like find a like just like kind of
Balance in the noise.
I don't know, for me it's like I don't necessarily love watching TV, but sometimes I don't mind watching TV just to kind of give my mind a break from just like when it's going like I got a lot
Right.
going on all the time in my
Right.
mind.
It gives it something to just do.
Hmm. But most of the time I prefer quiet or like meditative music, or regular like just music. Plans or vibes? I don't get
Vibes.
that.
Vibes. Like just roll with it or make a big plan.
Oh yeah, you're definitely vibes. I'm learning to be vibes much better. I used to be plans though. Yeah, I still am, but
You're
just
still
but
plans.
most of the time I do try to flow, even if it within the
Plans.
plans. So now it's
Right.
like we make plans, and I vibe within the plans, right?
Right. Like I'm cool with going. Okay, we'll get a hotel when we get there.
Mm-mm,
She's like, nah, we got 3 months. We need that shit today. Right.
mm-mm.
So,
That's true. That's true.
so yeah,
Mm.
I'm cool with like, hey, we get what we get when we get there, whatever.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, nah, heck with that. We're getting it now. That way, it's done.
And if anything happens, it happens on the way. But I need that knowing. Like, I
Right.
need to know that it's there, that security
Right. Now,
of.
once we're there and we're in the, place we're gonna, I mean, I get it. That's shelter, that's safety, that's home. That's our home at that time.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So, you know,
All right. Next. Being right or being at peace?
now,
Mm-hmm.
peace.
Mm-hmm.
Prior, right.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, maybe on Tuesdays or something, I'm like, right. Maybe more than just Tuesday, but,
And mine's always been peace.
you know,
um,
just trying to be honest with myself.
I would say there was a time when I wanted to be right, but my being right was leading me to my own peace. So I was never wrong, and I don't mean that in an egotistical way. But when you know shit, you freaking know shit, and if you don't own that, you're abandoning and self betraying yourself. Self doubt is self betrayal. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but anyway, okay, moving on. Take turn. No, I don't want to do that. Something I thought was a big deal that was not. Me? Is that asking me? Oh, we both have to answer. Okay.
Probably both.
Yeah, both. Something I thought was a big deal that was not. For me, um, a lot of times Eric, he is a jokester. And most of the time I love that about him. But when there's friction or conflict within the relationship and you default to humor, and that's also been a wound for you throughout your life of how you've been abused subtly, like with the oh, your ass is fat, just kidding, like your whole life. um Joking, is sometimes a trigger for me, but I have learned throughout our relationship that it is exactly the medicine that I really need a lot of times when I'm heightened or scared or just anything. Like, he knows what I need, but also he also doesn't know when to shut it the fuck off. So there's that. But for the most for the most part, I've learned that what I used to think was a big deal was more my wounds from past things than really having to do with him, other than when he used it to go into avoidance or or trying to redirect, if there was a conflict or issue.
Right.
All right, your turn. So, you want me to read the question again?
What do I think's a big deal?
What did you used to think
Was
was
a
a
big
big
deal.
deal that was not?
Um,
Okay, cool. I guess the kids are answering that
Okay,
question.
cool.
So,
What's a big deal? That's not. That's like. Uh,
okay.
about
So,
everything,
I
really.
don't know. We're moving on here.
Yeah, you might as
Something
well. I'm
that
blanking here.
you do that I used to misread.
Oh, well, um, not looking at you when you're trying to have a serious conversation with me, because sometimes I'm looking off straight ahead or to the side or something and not right at her, but I'm actually really listening and absorbing what she's saying, but I'm unable to do it by staring at her face, like looking right into her eyes or face. I don't. I sometimes it's easier for me to absorb what I'm hearing, looking away. Like,
I'm also like that, especially if I'm talking and I'm channeling like directly from my body and source. I tend to look away as well, but I actually don't have a problem with him not looking at me. I have a problem with him when I'm talking to him about something serious and he's falling asleep. So there is a difference, but
yeah, there's that too.
anyway,
Yeah,
moving on.
I never do.
Um,
I never don't do that. I mean, I do that sometimes. I
uh,
mean,
Something we gave way too much meaning to in the dynamic of our relationship.
other people.
Yeah, it's always been other
Mm-hmm.
people. Yeah.
You know.
Okay. Next. Um.
Boom.
Marriage. What's the secret to a good marriage?
Everybody's gonna tell you. I mean, it's honesty, really. And space, space, taking time for each other alone. You know,
I
like
think.
allowing each other time to go do something where they don't have to be around you or the children or whoever else, or if mom stays at the house or whatever, allow your partner to go, even if it's overnight, 2 nights, 3 nights, whatever. Every now and then, once a month, every
Yeah.
couple months, whatever.
I think that the secret to a good marriage is separate bathrooms.
Yeah, that's helpful. It's helpful.
I think it's very I think it's very important. Like personally, I also think it's important that, and this isn't in a mean way or a like separation kind of way, but I think it's important that you have your own sleeping space just in case you have times where you just want to be by yourself and with yourself and you don't want like as an empath, I absorb everything. So of course, I wear everything that he has. That does again. We talk
Right.
we talk about this often, but I unintentionally absorb everything, and sometimes sleeping next to him is too much. So
Right,
I
especially if I'm
may have to
carrying
take
stuff,
some
you know.
time to, um, you know, sleep by to have a night to sleep by myself, and same with him. Like I think it's important to
Right,
have
so,
if you need to, have that space. I think it's important to have that space.
right. And, we kind of already have it. We have a guest room, so it's all right to go in there. And the other side is it's nice to have my stuff, like my clothes and stuff, in a different room, because then early in the morning when I'm going to work or whatever, she doesn't need to get up at 3 or 2 in the morning or 4 in the morning or whatever hour I do get up. Uh, when she doesn't really need to wake up until 6:30 or something like
Okay,
that.
all right, you're processing. You're talking to. We were
Blah
trying
blah
to
blah.
keep it light. Okay, moving on. Sorry, I gotta cut him off, or he'll keep talking.
Yeah, well,
So, what? How do you win an argument?
shut the hell up. If I take my top lip and I put it to my bottom lip and shut the f up.
I don't really see it like that.
Nah, I'm just being funny.
No, I know you. I'm just answering the question. Again, I can't. It's like I'm not supposed to. I'm trying to be light, but I have to be honest. You know. I don't see it as winning. It's if we're having an argument, it's always to understand.
Right.
And we've learned that along the way in our
Absolutely.
relationship. We don't argue to be right. We argue to understand.
Right.
And if we can't understand and we can't get to any kind of, whatever, we walk away and we table it and we come back to it, or we, whatever, however it needs to happen. What should couples argue about? Ooh, that's a good one. Instead of like what normally we do, like money and shit, like what should we argue about?
I don't know. Well, if you have to argue, I guess it's really shouldn't have to argue about anything, like in a, yes, maybe heated discussions or whatever, but
But if you're gonna argue about something, it should be
like
what?
Maybe if somebody's attacking your children, maybe you're gonna fight someone to, you're gonna argue that,
I would say
you need
if
to
you're
protect
gonna
your stuff, and
I'd say a good argument would be an argument regarding how you can have healthier conflict resolution. A good argument would be, how can we show our children the things that we didn't necessarily want to experience as adults without also pushing those wounds onto them unintentionally.
Gotcha.
How do we argue about the things in our lives, like self-care, like arguing for each other's self-care, like making sure that we're taking care of each other and ourselves.
But argue in a way where we're more talking this way instead of arguing in a way where we're yelling at each other.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about arguing. I mean, everybody thinks argument is, problematic, when argument is really supposed to be about debate. Finding solution.
Right. It's just debate. It's just a debate with each other.
Right, but it's ultimately about trying to find resolve. What's the most romantic thing? I don't know what that that's not what. What's the fastest way to ruin a good day?
Oh well. I don't know.
Really, Eric?
What? The fastest way to ruin a good day? Just me sometimes being a fool. I could crack the right joke and.
No, I think the fastest way to ruin a good day
is to let it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's. We don't really. I mean, we try to really. Yeah, there's bad days, but like we don't really see it as like bad. Like they're usually teachable moments. Like, but I guess the fastest way to ruin a good day for me would be to tell me I got a bunch of high executive functioning to do.
Right.
Like red tape shit.
Right.
Like you gotta go to DMV, you gotta go to the post office, you gotta go. Like that would that'd be a really shitty.
Trying to you lost your wallet and you gotta renew all that stuff.
Yeah, that'd be a really good way to ruin a good day. Mm-hmm. But anyway, okay, and let's see, we're gonna wrap it up. One thing I appreciate right now about Eric is that he's doing this with me, that he is taking the time and energy and showing up, even though he doesn't necessarily have to, and he's still given his all, committing to making these episodes with me, and he shows up raw and vulnerable too, because as a masculine, I won't mention his age, but he's not a spring chicken. And it's much harder. I'm just saying, it's much harder for men in general to get certain things that women get much easier because of the way we're built. Like, just biologically speaking, there are just differences in men and women that play out in the relationship. And these differences are really meant to balance us, like to help us. They're our counterparts for a reason, and
Right.
we're meant to really complement each other.
Right. And it doesn't mean that as a man you don't have to understand or try to understand how it's okay to be like, okay, let me understand a little bit more how the woman feels, and the woman understands a little more how the man feels. It kind of helps each other balance, because you are supposed to be the counterpart. You can't tighten up something without, you got to have a nut and a bolt so you can tighten the two together. You can't,
Yeah.
you can't keep.
Yeah, but yeah, I just appreciate him supporting me and showing up, and you know, I think he enjoys it too,
I do.
and
I have a great
I
time.
just, it means a lot to me, and it's pretty cool to watch, to witness our own, I mean, definitely my evolution, particularly with what's happening with me internally and externally too. But it's great to have a partner who actually is a partner and is all in. So I appreciate my husband.
And I appreciate you, babe.
And one this is you.
What's I mean? I can't read that.
One thing that makes one thing that makes you laugh about me.
One thing that makes you laugh about me.
You laugh about me.
One thing that makes me laugh about you.
Yes.
How you do funny stuff, but then after you do funny stuff, you're like, see, I told you I was funny.
That's what's funny.
That's what it makes me laugh, because you're like, you already made me laugh, and then you're like, I'm funny, Then you're telling me that you're funny.
Because as a mom, you forget that you're fun sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have these moments of like glimpses of your true like inner child and playful self,
Right.
and you're like, oh shit, see, I am fucking
Oh, I
funny,
forgot about that. I
you know.
forgot that person there.
But, all right, well, anyway, that's enough honesty for this episode, I
Mm-hmm.
guess. Thanks for listening and letting us be unserious with you, and for being here. If it resonates, follow along. But as always, only if it leads back to you. Until next time, I love you.